All right. Um, Good morning, Hickory United Methodist. Gonna have a really simple um, morning prayer. Usually, whenever Sarah gives us homework, I like to look at that homework together. Um, and her homework has been on spiritual formation. And for the most part, if you tune into morning prayer every morning, or go back and listen to it or whatever, um, you've probably already got a lot of you know spiritually formative practices going on in your daily life, um, and that's awesome. But one of the things that um, Sarah challenged us to is just a little bit um, of time with God, and without like input. Um, and she shared she can usually only handle so much non-input. Um, and so usually she'll go and flip open to a psalm, um, and or just repeat or start with Psalm 23, reading it in her head. So I we've done something like this a number of times, but I've got my little candle. I got my candle, and I pulled up some. I actually pulled up a live stream with relaxing music and um, fishies because I like fish and relaxing music. Um, but um, with Sarah sharing in mind of stepping away from sometimes what we do of always having something, whether it's a podcast or a YouTube video or the radio, even just K-Love, um, going on in the background, uh, or even listening to our Bible on audio. Um, if we don't have that time to just listen or to be intentional with just God, um, can you imagine if every time you like went to sit down with like your significant other or a close friend, the first thing they did was like put on a podcast or even just start playing music, be like, hang on one second, before we start talking, let me just find the right soundtrack for this moment. I think sometimes thinking about uh, a relationship with God in a very like um, direct, like human sense, can help us contextualize it sometimes. Um, because sitting with a close friend or a significant other and listening to some calming music um, can absolutely be like pretty awesome. Like I think it would be great to find a friend and just listen to 4K stunning underwater wonders of the Red Sea plus relaxing music, coral reefs, and colorful sea life for like 5 minutes. That sounds great. But yeah, it's if every time I walked into their life, they were like, let's put something on the TV, or let's play some music, or let's have something else in this moment. I don't know how to feel about that. I don't think I'd feel positive. So sorry, Katie Moyer just sent me a WhatsApp. She never does that, so I was making sure it wasn't an emergency. It was a joke, so that's great. But um, yeah, I don't know how I do it. 4 minutes and 46 seconds in, we haven't started our time of silence, but I'm just gonna set a timer for. She said start small. Um, so I was gonna do 5 minutes, but especially since I've already talked so much, I'm going to start really small. If we were with the youth, I'd do 90 seconds, but we're going to do 3 minutes. 3 minutes of silence and listening for God. And if towards the end of those 3 minutes you're struggling, Psalm 23, you got it. All right. I'm going to mute my mic so that there's no sound. Well, my mind was drifting there at the end. When I was thinking of things to pull up and put in the background, I almost went with like a crackling fire, you know. Um, it's got just enough movement and enough sound that I kind of like, you know, something to have like keep the front of your attention, but especially to like when it crackles or something, it kind of gets at your attention a little bit to perhaps bring you back if you've been like drifting. And there's a meditation practice in the East among monks where they'll sit all together and um, either at the beginning they'll have their hands out, or if throughout the meditation uh, any individual is feeling like their mind is wandering, they're getting distracted, they'll just put their hands out like this, and someone basically goes like around all of the monks with like a big wooden stick, and will just like um, not like hard, but they'll just you know kind of like hit their hands as they go by, and it'll be something that's just like not jarring, but just intentional enough to like bring them back into the moment. I think that's nice. So if you need to have a friend hit your hands while you're meditating or praying, that's totally all right. Well, that's it. Thank you all for tuning in, and